Good morning, everybody. I hope you're okay. My name is Agnes, director and founder of MPA Coaching. MPA Coaching is a recruitment and placement agency which helps international students, mainly European, to come to the UK and carry out unpaid work placement with UK-based companies. So today, as it has been our routine since the 28th of February, I've been going around London, Greater London, and today I'm in Hemel Hempstead, and I've been going around to meet all the different companies and the fantastic business owners that are partners with MPA Coaching. So today, I've got somebody that a lot of people know and will recognize, and I'm very humbled, very privileged to be sitting next to her. And it's been a very hectic day today, but I really thank God for being here today. And so I'm Agnes, I'm the director and founder of MPA Coaching, and without further ado, I would really like to introduce Coach Jenny Garrett.
Oh, thank you. The privilege is all mine because we never have anyone visit us at the office because people never want to step outside London. So the fact that you've come to see us means that we are very privileged. So thank you very much. I'm really pleased to be here and really looking forward to our chat today.
Exactly, yes. So, okay. So please, Coach Jenny, can you please introduce yourself to us?
Okay, so I've been a coach and a leadership trainer for over 12 years now. My work is about helping individuals and organizations to transform, to be empowered and to actually make the most of what they are. So as an individual, how can you be the best you? How can you transform and reach your goals and live your best life? And as an organization, how can you make the best of your team? How can you create an environment where everyone can thrive so that your organization reaches its full potential? And that's what my work is all about. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've done some research before coming and just typing Jenny Garrett, I've brought up so many videos. And I was quite inspired by quite a large amount of them, especially the one with your family shopping.
Ah, right. Yes. Okay.
I think that was maybe a recent one or
yeah, it was actually it might be nearly 2 years actually. We were on a BBC show called Shop Well for Less.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. It was fun.
Have you had any
improvements? No, my husband is still buying. He can't stop himself.
Is it really your husband?
It is him. It's not me. Honestly, I'm not in denial. It's him. the bags everywhere. Yeah. No, he can't. It's the thing about shopping. It can be shopping therapy as long as you don't overspend. It's okay.
Exactly.
It's okay.
So now, can you please share with us what was your best achievement?
Yes. Okay. There've been a lot of times that have been highlights in my career and in my life, and I definitely say having my baby girl was a beautiful moment in my life. But about 5 or 6 years ago now, I won an award called Women's Coach of the Year.
Wow.
And that was a real highlight for me. The fact that people voted for me, the fact that women, because I am passionate about supporting women, I was recognized for supporting them was amazing for me. And it was also another turning point. So winning the award was wonderful, my heart beating and going onto the stage and all of that sort of thing. But also at that moment, it made me realize how far I'd come. I started off life in a council estate, a single parent family, and then to be winning awards and being at the top of my game was just like, wow, someone from my background can do that. And when I won the award, I made a speech and I said, I want girls who have had a similar background to me to know they can do anything. And that was the seed of the idea for my social enterprise, because as well as the work I do with women and companies, I have a social enterprise called Rocking Your Teens. And I think that was the seed for that. So that moment of winning was amazing, but also the fact that I'm very, very proud of the social enterprise that I have, which supports teenagers and inspires them, and has been going 4 years now. So I think that was the highlight, one of my highlights.
The highlight.
Yes, yeah.
And so now the long-term goals would be?
Yeah, so in my business, the long-term goals are to grow and develop and to be more international. We already travel. I travel and deliver talks around the world, but I want it to be bigger, and people keep telling me to come to America. And so really this year I'm going to be in America. So that's it. So anyone who's watching who wants to invite me to come and speak at their event in America, who wants to sponsor my travel, you know,
go for it.
Yes, yeah. So that's really where we're going. We're going global, and we're going to America. And with our social enterprise, we want to grow and develop that. We're having our first conference in Manchester. So we're moving out of London and going north. And we want to expand and grow to reach all the kids who need it most, who really need to increase their self-esteem, to know that they have potential, and to increase their aspirations. So that's what we're about, spreading as far and wide as possible.
So really your current role is just the melting pot of your own experience, and also going forward and motivating people to come along, really. I'll see you like dragging and bringing them to...
hopefully pulling them gently along rather than dragging and kicking and screaming. But I think as an entrepreneur, you know yourself, it's a very varied role. So one minute I'm coaching someone one-to-one, next minute I'm thinking about marketing, another minute I'm thinking about, is my receipts for the next invoice I've got to put out. It's a very diverse role, but I love that. I love the variety, because I would be bored, I think, just doing one thing. And you know, we've just done some research, so I've been analyzing data, and then next thing I'm on a stage in front of hundreds of people. So it's a very varied role, and I just try and keep my head. And I have support. I have amazing support. So Fiona and Natalia here. My mum works for me one day a week as well. We have a designer who is on a retainer with us, who works with us, and we have an accountant. So I have support. I don't say I'm doing all this by myself. That's not possible. And my biggest support is my husband at home. He's, you know, without him being my support, I wouldn't be able to do lots of things. To know that he's there for my daughter when I'm not, to know that kindly sometimes he'll make my dinner and it'll be there when I come from an event, you know, all of those things. It's nice to know someone's there and supporting you and has your back.
It's true. I'm actually experiencing the same thing, and it's just amazing. You've got that load that you share. It's not everything on your own shoulders. And also as women, we've got that ability and design of being able to do everything at the same time. You're cooking, you're talking on the phone, you're watching the children doing their homework, and you're everywhere at the same time. That's very good. I would like now to talk and ask you questions about the internship. Interns that you've received. You've been with us since May 2014.
Right.
And the first time I actually meet you in person and in real was we were going to a visit to the Parliament. And since then, you've been really supportive. You've been really like opening up and giving us the opportunity to place interns with you. And I would really like you to share a bit with the audience. What is your experience about hiring interns?
Well, it's been a wonderful experience. I think it's really good that you give us the chance to interview the interns first of all, to see if they're right for us, and that we are right for them. So I think that's great. So even though they're coming from Paris or wherever they're coming from around the world, we get the chance to meet them virtually, and I think that's a really good starting point. And then thinking about, for me, I had to take a step back, first of all, think about what do I want someone to do? Because I think that's very important. When you're so busy, what is the actual job that you want someone to do? Because you know you need help, but where exactly? And how is that a project? How is that helpful for them? And how is that helpful for you? So I think you do have to take a step back and think before you hire someone. But the interns I've had have been brilliant in that they've been mature. They've been mature enough to be able to get around, to be able to think on their feet, to be able to contribute to the business. and being very willing to learn. And they've also been just lovely people, you know, just really, really lovely people as well. And, you know, that then it fits into the family of my business.
Especially now working also with your mom.
Yes,
so they need to understand that, okay, it's not just a corporate.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But I recommend your services to everyone, actually, to all small businesses, because you know, it's invaluable, the support that you get. And you might not be able to employ someone full-time at this point, but getting an intern for a period gives you the experience of employing someone. You know what that's like, what systems you might have to get in place. It helps you think about where do you actually need help, and in that point gives your business a real boost. So, and also you're helping someone and giving them experience. So on all fronts, it's really, really great. And actually, particularly, I think, it's not particularly my case, but I think if your business wanted to go into another country as well, you know, if you needed someone who was bilingual, I think particularly your interns would be fantastic, because they all speak different languages. I've been so impressed with their confidence. When I was their age, I wasn't flying to another country, working in another country, getting around, and they were like, yes, I can get the tube, I can do this, I can do that. So they're just the been
MPA
amazing.
coaching team has been
you help them,
pushing them a bit too,
because it makes such a difference. It does.
And I really want to come back to what you said about being as a self-employed and just starting. It's not all the time that you've got that confidence or knowledge of what you want first. Because I remember when I first started, I was up and down, going to meetings, then coming back, taking care of my son. And by 9-10 o'clock, that's when I was starting another day of work until midnight, 1 o'clock. And when you've got a student, you learn to delegate, to really, okay, you know what, let me give them that to them, and then I can focus maybe on what I know to do best or they can't do. And it really trains you as a business owner that to become a business, a business really, not just working for your business, but on your business.
Absolutely.
If I could say, it really helps, especially also in your personal development, your confidence, being on time.
Yes, exactly.
When you're alone, you just it's okay. I'll come at 10 past. But when you need to be at 10, you have to be at 10. Yes.
So I think you're absolutely right. I definitely, and particularly as women, I think a lot of women start businesses maybe because they've had children, they don't want to go back into the corporate world, or, you know, whatever reason. And so their businesses are often destined to stay very small. And I think once you get someone like an intern, you suddenly think, I can scale this, I could grow it. There are people who can actually help me. So I think it's a huge service that you're doing by enabling people to have interns. And I really encourage people to try it. I think people are scared, you know, what if I don't have enough work for them, or, you know, actually,
all the time, sometimes, the time I explained to them, I would have done it 10 times already.
But you put systems in place, and then once you explain it once, maybe you write it down so that the next time it'll be much easier to do. But there's no pain, no gain. You have to invest in yourself, in your business, in order for it to move forward, or else it'll always be the same.
Okay, so as we said, the students are from France. So sometimes you've got the French accent that comes out of the interview. So now, can you tell us a bit about the challenges that you might have encountered, maybe with hiring interns from MPA, but also maybe from other organizations? I think that, there's always a challenge, I think. I'm not sure if it's a particular challenge with your interns because they're French, but I think there's always a challenge in miscommunication and helping someone to really understand what your business does and what your brand's about, and the way in which you engage, because every brand has its own personality, and it takes a while to get to understand what that is and how you want to engage. Are you super professional? Are you a friendly brand? And I think helping the intern to understand that is really, really key. And also the level of work
that you want. So helping them to understand, actually, this is what good quality looks like.
Yes.
Because a lot of the time they've just written assignments, or they've had retail experience, and the level, and the level at which you might want something to be able to go out, they might not be there. They might write it like I've experienced that they might write it like an assignment. And you're thinking, well, no, this is fine, because you're kind of saying what's been said before, but I'm looking for some new thought, and I'm looking for us to do it our way. And so helping them to understand that step up, what that's needed in business, you know, it can be a little bit challenging. And I think the other thing is that I find is that you may want to go here and there. You might not always be able to bring your intern with you.
Yes.
So how do you manage that? I think that's something that you have to think about.
Yes.
Do they work, do you have an office that they can be in? Do they work from home that day? Do they work in a coffee shop? You know, so actually thinking about that, and also having the equipment for them. Are they, you know, do you have a computer for them, or are they bringing their own laptop? And how can they access files? So there are things that you need to think about, but they're not things that you can't overcome.
And also, actually, it reminds me of one of your interviews that you had on Sky News about the employers sending emails to their employees.
Yes, outside of working hours. Yes.
And you mentioned about France, and France is very different from UK.
Yeah.
Their mentality, their way of thinking, their way of you know, working is different.
Yes.
And you mentioned something also, it's like during the weekend or when it's out of hours, it's family. Switch off everything. So we need also to be able to bring to the mind of this new generation that now I don't use Skype anymore. It's only WhatsApp. We do the interviews on WhatsApp, a video or call, or now they're all on Instagram, Snapchat. So we try to bring them to that new generation, because also the teachers who are teaching them, they teach them the very square way of thinking. So when you push them, I think these experience really help them to come out of this academic mindset that you just spoke about. And in that, who was your best intern?
Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. I think all of them have been good in their own way. I'm not going to say who was the best, but you know, I've stayed in touch with them, and I think that's nice. I think that's a testament to the fact that we stay in touch. We've had a very good relationship. But I'm not going to say that he was the best. It's like choosing between your children, isn't it? Who's the nicest child you've got? No, I can't do that. But I think it's all about enthusiasm, willingness to learn, willingness to try things. I think that's what makes a very good intern. I've
got a question that popped into my mind this morning. We've been now for a week. We've celebrated Women's International Day. It's been a week now. So what can we do now, practically speaking? Because when I see young students, because I receive also interns, especially girls, I see they're very motivated and everything, but there's still also these girls, makeup and everything. And how can we push them as women, especially you've had quite a track record of receiving awards and even your own life. You were mentioning you were a single parent also.
No, I wasn't a single parent. Yes, I was brought up in a single parent family.
In a single parent family. And it's, how can we push them to have that entrepreneurial, not just being consumers, but having that push to, okay, I want to set up my own business, even if it's makeup or fashion, but I want to do something. It's not just about celebrating women, but what can we do, practically speaking, to engage these young ladies, young women to
do more? I think that it's lighting a fire, isn't it? It's like you have to light a fire in someone's belly to make them want to do more. And it depends. I think we have to understand what they care about. So if you care about makeup but you want to afford more makeup, maybe you sell the makeup and you earn the commission or whatever, so you can make your own, or maybe you create your own beauty line.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think sometimes it's more just putting the ideas out there, letting young women know that there are role models of people doing different things. A little bit like you said about people in France knowing that this is what work looks like.
Yes.
Sometimes no one's ever met anyone who runs their own business,
yes.
or, you know, done something different. And I think putting these role models in front of young women to see that they can do more is really good. But we've just done some research on confidence, and one of the big things about confidence is new experiences. So what I would encourage every young woman to do is something that they've never done before.
Yes.
What could you do that you've never done before? Maybe you buy a lot of makeup and you have it at a market stall and see if you can sell it one day.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you don't succeed. You'll have a stockpile of makeup and you'll use it. Use it. Yeah, or something. Send it to Christmas presents. But what can you do that you wouldn't normally do? And that stepping outside your comfort zone is that biggest thing that, you know, actually, if I try something new and I'll learn something. I'll learn something from it. It might not be perfect first time, but I'll learn something. And the more you do that, the more you trust yourself, the more you can try new things, the more confident you become. So I think there's a lot to think about. I think there's a lot of conversations. There's a lot of mixing with different people, not just your teachers, not just your parents. And looking out there, there's a load of women doing amazing things, and being part of the movement. Even if from not day one that you want to be an entrepreneur, that's okay. But because you might have to wait for the idea. I mean, I didn't start running my business till I was 34. That's not that young, you know. And I didn't ever think about running my own business. It was because I found coaching, and the only way to be a coach was to run my own business. So, you know, it can come at any time. But sometimes you have to wait for the thing that pushes you to be an entrepreneur. And other times you have to see someone who you just think, oh, maybe I want to be like them. And then that will drive you. But if you're not open, you won't see it when it comes. So you have to be open.
So what pushed you, if we can go back back in the days, what pushed you to or light that fire?
What,
that fire.
Well, I used to work in a business school, actually not very far away from here. And I was responsible for marketing. So my career before was marketing, and I had senior marketing roles. And a colleague who's now a really good friend, she just came into my office and said to me, what next? What are you going to do next? And I thought, well, I'm doing it. I've got a good job. I don't need to do anything else. And she said, no, you can do more. So she said you could train people in marketing on some of the programs, because it was a business school. And I was not a confident speaker then. So I said, I couldn't stand up in front of people. I'd be too scared. And then she said, what about coaching? She said, people come into your office on a daily basis. They come away motivated. They come away with action. You're a really good listener. Actually, you could be coaching people. And the organization supported me to do a coaching program. And I did this program, and it was transformational for me. It just made me see the world differently, see the career, the work I did, marketing, didn't feel so important. And I just thought, actually, the power of coaching to transform people's lives, to actually make them see themselves differently, to realize their dreams, to actually have a mirror held up to them to see how amazing they are. I just thought, I want to do this all the time. And then I was back in my day job, and they said, no, you can't do it all the time. You can do it sometimes on some of our programs. And I felt really stuck and very frustrated, because I thought, I don't want to do this job anymore. There's a whole new job out there for me, but I don't know how to do it. And I got some coaching myself. And my coach said to me, how about going part-time? He said, you know, actually go down to 4 days a week. On this 5th day, see if people will pay you to do this coaching thing. See if you actually like coaching. You know, maybe you won't like it so much when you have to do it as a job, you know. And I also set myself a target. So I said, financially, if in this one day I can earn this much, then it won't be jumping to be entrepreneur. It will be kind of just a step, because I'm already earning money. And so within a year, I had given up that job, and I was a coach. And as I said, over 12 years now I've been doing, and it's grown from just coaching to leadership development to also writing my book, Rocking Your Role, which is about a guide to success for women who are the main earner in their home, which I became when I started running my own business. So it's just grown and developed and just become bigger and different as the years have gone on. And I really, really love it. But it was good feedback, that, you know, getting that feedback from my friend to say, actually, you can do something else. You can do more. Go and do some training. Sometimes we just need a push, and we need someone to see the qualities in us, which we don't see in ourselves.
Wow. It reminds me of a quote that somebody put on the internet, that a mentor is somebody who sees your abilities that you even can't see. Yes. Wow. That's
Absolutely.
very so you had a coach to become a coach.
Yes, absolutely. And I still get coaching now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I believe in it. I really believe in it. I really believe that actually just these one-to-one conversations can just help you take a step back, look at your life differently. Sometimes we're on a bit of a treadmill, we keep doing the same thing. Sometimes we're stuck, we don't know how to get around it. And sometimes we're not dreaming big enough.
Yes.
Yeah. So
we're so comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah. 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Pay my mortgage.
Exactly. But we could do more. And so just unleashing that potential in people, I love it.
Wow.
I really, really love it.
Wow. Oh God. So I've got a few last questions. Okay. Got a few people actually who are looking. If you were Prime Minister, I don't know if that's the best job at the moment.
Okay, no,
Prime Minister of the or President of France.
Yeah.
What would be the changes that you would make? Maybe in education or in personal development or professional development. What one aspect would you change?
One is difficult. I may be greedy and take more than one.
Okay.
But I definitely would immediately create more gender balance. So not just gender, actually, more diversity. Because I think it's not just about women, it's about all aspects of diversity. And I think when people at the top represent the people everywhere, the decisions are better for everyone. So I would immediately just change everyone to be more diverse. And that would be also about education. In our political system, everyone's educated at Cambridge or, all of they've had quite a privileged education. And it's the same sorts of people with the same sort of thinking. So actually, how could we make that much more diverse? So I would immediately do that. But actually, on a ground level, I would make sure there were no homeless people. When you walk along the street in London, there are so many people in the street now. There's no need for that. There are empty houses, there are empty buildings. There should never, I don't understand what is happening, why there's a situation where we have so many people without a home, in the cold, in the rain, nowhere to wash, nowhere to go to the toilet. These are basics. Maslow talks about the hierarchy of needs. We need food, we need security. Everyone should have those basics. So on a ground level, that would be the first thing I would do. Make sure everyone has a home and safety.
Especially in a developed country like the UK. If you say that maybe to some African people, they'll be like, no, you're joking. But last time I went to Paris and I was around Gare du Nord, Gare d'Austerlitz, I was shocked about the amount of homeless people on the streets, just sleeping, nowhere to go. In a developed, like the most iconic cities in the world. It's very, very disturbing. Sometimes it is disturbing. Yes. But I want to come back to what you said earlier about obviously people in power. But compared to France, there is a lot of diversity.
Right. Yes.
In the UK Parliament, you've got people from Nigeria, from India, from obviously Caucasian. So you've got a real balance. Even me, I remember when I first came into the UK, prime time, Trevor McDonald. I was like, what? I was shocked. In France, we had Claire Chazal and Patrick Poivre d'Arvor. These are like main TV news readers since I was a child. So I think there is quite a large amount of diversity. You can see different people from different backgrounds, but still,
I think there's a lot of work to do, because I think it's the minority. I think you can pick out individual people and say there's one or there's two, but it's not really a real diversity. And plus, diversity looks in different ways. So we could both be, I could be have the same race, but we could both be educated in very, at Cambridge, for example, and no one come from a comprehensive school background. So we're not always representing. So people can look different, but they can be thinking very similarly. And so I guess when I'm saying all aspects of diversity, it's also about the diversity of thinking. Because people can look different, but they could still be very similar. And it's about how do we make it really, really diverse. And so everyone's represented. At the moment, what happens with diversity is you're against each other. So we have Theresa May, and then we have Jeremy Corbyn, and he's like for the working people, and she's for the other people, or however you want to think about it. But I think if we mixed it up so those people were in together, then we'd have some really good decisions being made. Of course, it was going to be harder for them, because when you're surrounded by people who don't agree with you, it's hard enough right now. But then they have to work that through and work out a civilized way in which to communicate, like we all do. The rest of us manage it, don't we?
Wow. Okay. So one of the last questions.
That's fine. I'm enjoying myself. We can stay here all day.
Is if you were marooned on a desert island, which historical figure would you like to be with?
Right. Yeah, there are a million, but I'm going to just the person.
You don't like to choose.
I don't like to choose, exactly. I want everyone, but I'm going to say one person, because I was writing a blog for this month about daring to dream, and I had Harriet Tubman at the top, the woman who freed lots of slaves, and I would like to meet her to understand her courage. I'd like to, I think people who are to dare to stand up, to dare to be different, and to be very courageous and know that's the right thing to do. I'm just so impressed with those people. They're willing to put themselves out there, and there might be personal toil for them. You know, there might be personal circumstances, but they know that this is right, and they know it's so right that they're willing to sacrifice for it, and they're willing to take risks. That's the kind of person I want to have a conversation with and be inspired by, and build my own courage as well. So Harriet Tubman would be a person I would go back in history, but there's loads more. And I really want to meet Barack Obama. I really want to meet Michelle Obama. I'm putting it all out there into the universe right now. I'm seeing Michelle Obama in April at the event, but I want her to invite me backstage to meet me, and I want to meet her. So there's loads of people I want to meet. They're alive, I know, but I'm putting everything out there today. So it's all going to happen.
It's true. Even me, I would like to meet Michelle Obama to see how she was feeling when her husband has been like now the first black president. How do you maintain yourself also, because there is because they're waiting for any kind of mistake that you will be doing or making. So how do you preserve?
Have you read her book yet, Becoming?
No.
You must read it. It's amazing in terms, it feels very real and open about her experience. And she talks about the fact that she was being very criticized, for all sorts of things. And also the fact that she was not interested in politics, being a political wife, but that she really supported, Barack through that. So it's a good book, worth reading. It's very big. But it's, I've seen but it's worth it. It's definitely worth the hours to put in.
Wow. Oh, okay. So I'll go back and I definitely need to add some more readings on my list. By the way, actually talking about reading, what would you recommend people
to read?
About reading.
I'd recommend my book. I should have it here, but I haven't got one. Natalia, could you pass me one of my books? Sorry. There's some up there or anywhere, so someone will pass me a book. So I recommend my book, Rocking Your Role, which is a guide to success for female breadwinners. Another book I read recently, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting, is a really good book about expecting the best from life and the best happening. So there's my book, Rocking Your Role, available in Amazon. So I'd recommend that. And what other book have I read recently and I'd recommend Becoming, by Michelle Obama, which is another really, really fantastic book. So I've got a whole list, because I've been reading books on Audible lately, so listening to them instead of reading them. I'm getting through them very, very quickly. So there's so many good books out there.
Okay, so people read is very important. There is a lot of inspiration, dreams, imagination in books.
Even books that are not self-help or business books, fiction books, still can help you think creatively as well, and give you a bit of a rest to your mind as well. I read another really good book, Eleanor Oliphant is Absolutely Fine, it's called, and it's funny and it's sad. Yeah, it's called Eleanor Oliphant is Absolutely Fine.
So we'll put all these on
there. It's a brilliant book.
Okay, thank you very much, Jenny. I am so happy, so grateful for really this fantastic time. And I have to say, I was so scared. And on top of that, I was driving and the wind and everything. I was like, oh God, please, I want to be in this live video today. So do you have anything to say to the audience?
I've got a couple of things to say. Number one, look at her dress. Woo! This dress is absolutely gorgeous. I've got dress envy. So that's the first thing I want to say. You look absolutely amazing, Agnes. And the other thing I'd like to say is get an intern. Find, to get a free intern, someone of that caliber, get an intern. And the last thing is stay in touch. My website is jennygarrett.global. So stay in touch. And I'm coming to Brussels, actually, if any of you've got some French, some people there. Yeah, I'm coming to Brussels in just about the 25th of March.
25th of March.
Yeah, so just if not long.
She's a very busy lady. I think how many times we changed the dates?
Yes,
She's very busy and fantastic, really. Thank you very much once again for following us, for being live. I've seen, wow, so many people were connected. Axel, Yassir, Bernadette, thank you. Fofana, really, thank you. Oh, Fatou, thank you very much for really following us. And on Instagram, and Alex Pemberton, yes, Alex Pemberton actually is one of your fans. Hello,
Alex.
Yes, and we're on Facebook Live, Snapchat, Instagram.
We're everywhere. Okay.
So that's thanks to my wonderful intern, Cindy. So really thank you again for following us, for being part of the MPA coaching world, MPA coaching community. And we really hope that you're enjoying, and I know that you are enjoying, with your different comments and shares and the different views. So really thank you very much. That was Agnes with the fantastic rocking her world, Jenny Garrett. And we see you very, very soon. Merci beaucoup.
Au revoir.
À bientôt. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.